Hello and welcome back to Your Hobby Connection. I'm so glad you've joined us today. We're continuing our series on the Lionel catalog of 2024. Today, we're going to be talking about the legacy sets that they're offering in this catalog. They've got 3 of them for us. They've got the Nickel Plate Road, you've got the Atomic Energy Commission, and the Illinois Central City of Miami. So up first, we have the Nickel Plate Fast Freight set. It includes all things labeled and numbered with nickel plate memorabilia. So it's pretty cool. I love the fact that they're doing this. Now, one thing I will tell you is I did some numbers because I was curious if this $2,500 set was actually worth it to buy it, or if I could be better off buying piece by piece and making my own Nickel Plate Road set. Well, the numbers are in, ladies and gentlemen. The locomotive itself in this catalog is $1,700. The Vision stock car was only sold in 2022. I couldn't find it any other catalog time frame. It's not even in this one right now. And when that sold in 2022 is $450 for this legacy car right here. The Hotbox Reefer car, which is this one right here, sells for $300 in this catalog, but it doesn't have the Nickel Plate Road name on it. The Piggyback car sells for $160 in this catalog. The PS1 box car was selling for $210 in its catalog, and the Vision line caboose is selling for $300. So for those of you guys pulling out your calculators and doing the math, you're going to come to a total of $3,120 if you were to buy all these things piecemealed. If you buy it as a set, you're going to spend it for $2,500. So yeah, you're saving $620. That's a steal of a deal if you ask me. Now, that being said, I am kind of, I won't say frustrated, but I am kind of wishing that Lionel would include the track for this set and maybe the basic power supply. I say the power supply and track because if I was to buy this and give it to somebody as a, hey, welcome to the hobby, here's a really cool featured set to have, most people aren't going to buy 054 Curve right out the gate. They're going to buy the starter set, which is basic and cool, but doesn't have all the bells and whistles that this thing does to really sell them on Lionel's hobby and stuff like that. So if I had, that wish, I would wish that they would do, track and a power supply operating the locomotive and rolling stock. But that's just a personal preference. Now, like I said, we have a stock car with features. What does it do? Well, you have the quilling pigs, you have an electrocoupler on one end, and a regular coupler on the other end. So if you need to set out your reefer, you totally can, because look at this. Your hot boxer has an electrocoupler. It has the sounds and the smoke and the light to indicate a hot box, just like this right here indicates. This was actually coming out a long time ago. I want to say it's like 10 or 20 years ago the hot box reefer came out. So I'm super excited that they've gotten the new one out with more sounds and more capabilities. The flat car with trailers, it has 2 trailers that can be removed and have opening doors on them as well. It is a wooden deck and it is a die-cast body, so that's pretty cool. The PS1 box car here is only a volumed car. It does not have any kind of legacy capabilities, which is fine. I mean, you don't necessarily need an operating coupler. It does make sound, and it does have a volume control knob, so that's nice. And then of course you've got your Vision caboose right here. It does have sound, it does have an air whistle, and it does have electrifiering coupler on one end. I do kind of wish that they would have had it with a smoke unit in there, like for like a cold winter's night or a cold winter day in general, having some smoke coming out of it and going, hey, look at that, it must be cold outside. And that's why you're having a hot box, and you can see it really easily. But they didn't do that, and that's okay. As far as the locomotive goes, it has all the standard Vision line features, so nothing to be worried about there. So I think it's a good deal, and I might end up buying this. I was looking at getting myself a Berkshire from the Nickel Plate Road, so this is like super tempting to me right now because I'm going, oh, for $700 more, $800 more, I can get this. So, because I know I'm buying me a reefer, and at $300 and a legacy locomotive for the Berkshire, I'm going, well, that's $2,000. Spend $500 more, and I get even more features and stuff. Up next, we've got the Atomic Energy Commission Glow-in-the-Dark set. These actually do glow in the dark, and they came out originally with the locomotive in 2001, as they notate up here. Now, the number 1946 on the locomotive A and B units actually means something. The AEC was founded in 1946, which regulated and studied nuclear usage in the United States. It also did safety operations and was supposed to regulate and fine and do a bunch of stuff, but because it was a government entity that was semi-private, semi-public, it had a lot of issues. So in 1974, Congress disbanded it, and a new entity took place in 1976. Now, initially when I looked at this set, I'm going, well, is it really worth $1,000 for 5 pieces of rolling stock? Well, I say 5, the locomotive and then 4 pieces of rolling stock. Is it really worth $1,000? Because you figure the cars are maybe worth $100 a piece. And then I found out that this box car is actually a sound car. So that makes it worth about $210 if you were to buy one non-glow-in-the-dark later on in this catalog. So you're looking at about $1,000 for this set, and you're saving about $100 to $200 if you didn't have to buy these individually. And if you buy the B unit, which, I mean, at this point in time, why not? Because how many glow-in-the-dark B units are you going to find? Not many. In my research, I couldn't find out if the AEC actually operated any atomic-type locomotive train sets to move nuclear material around. I think this is more of a, hey, this is pretty cool, it's got some cool features in there. Other than that, no, I couldn't find anything else too outstanding about it. It does look cool. I think if they would have made this about $1,150 with a sound, with the remote, track, and power supply, I think it would have been pretty well received. Up next, we do have the Illinois Central of Miami Legacy set. Now, the Illinois Central Railroad started this service in December 18th of 1940. So, yes, it launched it in 1940, but just barely. I mean, by the skin of their teeth. Could have waited another 20 days and it would have been the next year. It was able to take a train from Chicago, Illinois to Miami in 31 to 32 and a half hours, traveling the 1,500 miles in that time frame. It ran every third day until the 1950s, and then it started every other day. So, must have been pretty popular. It was a 7-car streamliner that used a single E6A engine. So, this is very prototypical to see 1 locomotive and 7 cars. What I am disappointed with Lionel here is I really wish that they would have done like the Berkshire locomotive type thing where, hey, let's put all the things in there and charge one price, and then say, by the way, if you want to buy the locomotive or the cars separately, you can do that as well. The numbers tell me once again, you're saving about $100 if you bought the locomotive and the passenger cars separately. Although, technically, you can't buy them separately in terms of the locomotives because they came in a 2-pack earlier on in this catalog. Those were about $1,200, and 1 locomotive means it's worth about $600 per locomotive. And then, of course, the streamlined 21-inch cars in the earlier catalog, of this earlier version of this catalog, it was $1,000 for 4 of them. So it's pretty standard. You're not saving a whole lot, but you do have a really cool paint scheme. You have the 2-packer for $500, and you've got the sound car for another $450. Me personally, I think they should have made this $1,600 or $1,700 and dumped one of the passenger cars with no sounds and put the one with sound in it, and then sold the 3-pack. That's just my personal opinion. I think it would have done a little bit better because I love passenger sets with sounds because it makes it so much better. But that's just me being somewhat biased. The locomotives are correct in terms of the numbers on the cars, so that's cool. These are 054 minimum cars and locomotive, so don't get too scared about it, but it is pretty cool. One other thing to notate is the Illinois Central ended up using 3 additional railroads in order to get from Chicago all the way down to Miami. So you had the IC rails, and then you had 3 others. So talk about some inter-train and inter-railroad cooperation in order to make it happen in 31 hours, which was some of the fastest times that were recorded on the run. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick look at the legacy sets that Lionel's got for 2024. Come back next time around and we're going to talk about all of the legacy cars and rolling stock that they've got for this year's catalog. It's all going to be one big long video. I'm going to push it all together and get it in and out as fast as possible, because there's a lot of repeats and there's not a whole lot of history per se like the locomotives had. So I do hope you guys will come on back. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends and family, hit that bell for notifications, and look forward to this next on video. Have a safe day, and we'll see you guys next time.